have a look at these stats. Spell power 444%. Magic crit chance over 100. Crit damage 426%. That's a lot of damage. I'm going all perception almost. 12 spirituality just to be able to use my Scorching Blast. You can change how much spirituality you want to use if you want to use a different spell. 6 endurance, minimum I need for my armor set. And the armor set is the key here, the Prophet set. Increases spell power by 100% when below 13% max health. That is the full theme of the armor. The chest is crit chance, the gloves are crit damage. The pants are max mana, and the shoes are mana regen. The rings, I'm using whatever crap I have because mine are bad. This amulet isn't even that good since I'm already at 100% crit chance, and I don't really need mana. I don't really need spell power at this point. My cape is just whatever I have lying around. If you found anything else, you can put that on. But this build just blasts everything. I'm mostly using Thunder Lash and Scorching Blast, but I also use Impenetrable Shield and Rumpel's Revenge to turn all of my blood into cheese to get my health to be under 13% consistently, which is very, very low on the bar. And you can get this from the quest in Act 1. I'll just quickly go over where to get a lot of this stuff. So the Prophet armor set, there's a hospital in this town in Act 2, or Map 2, Quanacht, or whatever. And if you do the quest you get from Ignatius in the hospital at the bed at the far end of the room, and accept the power of the Red Death, you can not only get the skill tree for the Red Death, which I am not actually using. Even though I could, I'll probably invest into this left part later, but you get the skill tree and the Prophet set from that. And for the other spells, you get the lightning spell and the fire spell, both from Abandoned Stronghold here on the first map, just straight north of this town. You can run in and grab the lightning spell. If you walk in the front door, turn right immediately, and the spell is pinned to a wall. Or no, it's pinned to a door with a dagger, and the fire spell is just somewhere else. Just complete the area, you'll find it. And with those, you have the good spells. Rumpel's Revenge is here. Under this arena, there's a quest, the red-haired merchant girl that's right here in the town will give you. And then you go do Rumpel's quest, and he will give you cheese powers to turn yourself or enemies into cheese, and that will lower your health down to where you need it conveniently, because some things will heal you, such as leveling up, which is annoying because then you need to get to very low health. Impenetrable Shield, which negates damage. You can buy that from the red priest guy in the first town here, in the first map, Horns of the South. I think he's like right here. He's like sitting in a little grass courtyard. He's like a red priest dude. You can buy that spell from him. You can also buy Mother's Embrace, which I use to heal myself if I ever need to jump off a cliff or something and not die. Or if there's ever some rare thorns mechanic or unavoidable damage, you might need to just heal yourself and deal with it. I haven't run into anything like that since starting to play this 1 HP build, but it is possible. So this build, as you can imagine, just does a ton of damage. Things just don't survive. Like, these guards are my level and have a ton of health, and they just cannot live. I also get the... oh, he lived from this spell at least, but he got staggered in a single hit, and he got staggered because of this hilarious skill that is just way too effective with this build. Crits reduce target stamina by 20% of damage dealt, and combined with... let's see, where is it? It's in strength. Staggered enemies take 60% increased damage. So good luck, bosses, you're dead. I'm just going to go over the build here. So in strength, I have this spent just to move here. 60% increased damage against staggered enemies. In endurance, I have increased vitality just to be able to move to carnage. Each enemy killed increases damage by 5% up to 50%. You don't heal in this build, so that's a lot of free damage. Dexterity, I will probably invest into the movement tree once I get more points. I'm only level 38, so I don't have that many points to go around, but I will probably move to the slow time on the dash just to be able to aim and dodge a little bit easier. In spirituality, I have 3 in this and 2 in this. This allows me to use my wand effect, which makes spells do more damage but cost more mana. Now, this always is not necessary. I also have the old tree staff, which you can get, I believe, from the glasses alchemist dude in the first town. You'll have it in his shop, or in the southeast part of the first map, there's like a cave where there's a bunch of mages growing like magic weed, and they have this staff. This allows you to really spam. It's super, super high mana return, especially with the other thing I have in the skill tree, which is, where is it? Here it is. No, wait. It's somewhere around here. There it is. Crits with a spell. Restore 50% of its mana cost. So that, plus that other thing, plus my massive mana regen, you can just spam forever. So, and then another part of the build, which you kind of have to finesse, is while below 30% mana, increases spell power by 100%. Now that's pretty nice, and you can often just cast your Scorching Blasts, light attack, and your mana will be in that range. I just died, and that was my cheat death automatically activating, which is something else I was about to talk about. So, weird enough, this King Soul Power thing, which I will show you here, this King Soul Power that automatically activates when you receive lethal damage, it activates no matter how little of the gauge you have, which isn't what it says it does, but it's way stronger like this. So you have a rechargeable cheat death that if anything hits you, or if you take falling damage, it even prevents that. You can just jump off of things. It's boop, cheat death. It doesn't even matter. You don't even take the damage. Let's keep going, looking at that build. Oh, watch out. A brief interruption here. Okay, back to build, back to build. I have another cheat death here somewhere. Okay, in the stealth tree and perception, I don't have this spec right now, but I will put a point in it. This is another cheat death to layer on top of the other one you have. So not only can you cast shields repeatedly that absorb a hit of any damage amount, if they manage to hit you through that, you will then be able to cheat death and go invisible, which will be on a cooldown. And then if you get hit past that, and somehow die again, you will have a rechargeable King Power cheat death. And then you can just keep putting up your shield in between that. So this build is crazy survivable, despite being on 1 health, and is more survivable than I used to be when I had full health. When I get more points, I will definitely go into the summoning and grab 1 point in the starter, 2 points in Power Conduit here, which goes up to 8% spell power per summon, and then I will increase my summon limit to 5, and then I will summon 5 cheap summons just to give me 40% more power, which will also allow me to use the summons as meat shields. But you can't pick some things like this right here. That will completely brick the build. So don't pick anything that has lifesteal. Don't pick anything that gives you health. They will totally brick the build. There are a few things that heal you in other trees. I don't know exactly where they are, but watch out for them. This is another thing I would pick if I were going to have more points. A critical hit with a spell marks an enemy, causes them to take 10, 20, 30% more damage for 10 seconds, as if you needed more damage. This is really just for bosses. You could also splash into the Red Death tree. Now, the Red Death has a cheat death on the right, where it prevents death once per bonfire rest. However, it doesn't seem to work very well with other sources of cheat death and will proc at the exact same time, effectively wasting it. So I didn't use this. I messed around with this Red Death, maxed this, so you get 1% damage dealt boost per stack, and then increased the stack limit here to quite high, and then make crits give lament stacks. Now, if you were to do that, and you were to put on a spell that gives a ton of individual hits, such as the winter spell here, you can effectively just have 2 shotguns and double light attack and kind of blind yourself. And these are 5 projectiles, I believe. Yeah, so 5. You would get 20 stacks per light hit. Oh, and you get Spellgorger, the wand I'm using, from the Corrupted Temple over here on the far left of Quanacht. And if you go in there, you won't have a map, but there is a bunch of big buildings, and you just jump across the little bridge and just go up, 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 all the way on the roof, tippy top roof, and there is a little shrine to the Allmother, and the wand is just lying on the ground on it. So you can just pick that up. Now you can upgrade this Spellgorger, and it will increase both of these stats. So it will cost even more mana and give even more spell power. However, this build kind of has enough damage that I don't know if that's a good idea. You can upgrade it, but you can't downgrade it, I don't think. So it's a one-way trip. If you want to do it, you can. I don't think it's completely necessary, given the extreme damage of the build already, but you can. It might make it a little easier to make your spells go into the 30% range, so you can get that one talent that gives 100% more damage. So you can consider it in that case. However, I'm doing it pretty easily by having 3 active summons. As for the summons, it really doesn't matter what you use. Kind of just use whatever gets your mana to the point where you want it to be at, such as Grindylows or the Summon Wolves. You can get the Summon Wolves in the cave over here. It's right here. There's a minor cave, and like way deep in there, the wolf spell is there. This is the first map. The Grindylows, I don't remember exactly where I got that. It was probably somewhere around here on the first map. It was near other Grindylows, I'm pretty sure. The hospital? Okay, there we go. So this is the hospital. It is here. So you just go in here, and there will be a dude on the right. Right here. Oh, you're still alive. The final act. Alright, have fun.